Today we're going to talk about some of the grinders that we use in the shop. Very quickly, this is a Metabo grinder with a large cutting disc. I've removed the guard so you can take a look at it. This is a Makita grinder, a 4-inch grinder with a little paper disc. This is another Metabo grinder with a flap disc. This is a kind of a heavier duty Bosch grinder with a hard wheel. And then this is another Makita grinder with a smaller cutting disc. This particular Metabo, I have taken the guard off, but this is a 6-inch cutting wheel that I'll use for heavy cutting when I've got to cut a larger piece of steel. And we're going to have a video on that. This is a small Makita grinder, angle grinder, 4-inch, with again the 4-inch pad, 50 grit. And I use this a fair amount, but it's not my go-to grinder. If I've got to do some light grinding and sanding, I'll use this. It's all ready to go, plugged in, ready to rock and roll. This little cup brush is also attached to that, and I've got it right here because sometimes when you've got to remove some scale or some rust before you paint, it's a handy thing to have. The Metabo grinder right here is set up with a flap disc. This is a 40 grit flap disc. It has a slight bevel to it, which I really like, and I use it an awful lot. For those of you that are not familiar with a flap disc will grind and polish at the same time. So you can almost get a paint finish with the flap disc. Not an automotive paint finish, but typically for wrought iron work or most general painting that you're going to do in a fabrication shop. This will suit very well. The next grinder that we've got here is a Bosch angle head grinder. It's a little bit heavier. You can see this is the heaviest small grinder that I've got, and I'll use this for the heavier grinding that I do in the shop. Certainly you can get a very large grinder, but I don't use it that much. You try to build in such a way that you're not having to grind that much. But this serves very well for a lot of my general grinding tasks, and it's set up with a Cubitron grinding wheel, which I like. Finally, we have another Makita grinder, and it has got a small cutting disc on it, and I'll use this for small detail cutting in the shop. And we're going to go over each one of these in a separate video. This is a general overview. And finally, I've got all the tools that I would need to change these out. I have them conveniently located right in the grinding area. So in the future, we're going to have a dedicated video on each of the specific grinders and what you can do with them.